Please be seated. The Chamber informs the parties and the public that after having heard the opinions of the medical doctor who has been treating Mr. Evidentiary, that is, Mr. Evidentiary's health conditions presently cannot afford him to be present in the courtroom, not even through remote means, and that during the following week Mr. Evidentiary is able to participate in the proceeding only through audio-visual means. Besides, through his counsel, Mr. Evidentiary has indicated his position that he will not waive to be present in the courtroom relating to the hearing of testimony of witness TCW 487 and TCW 583 and also TCW 323. As a result, the Chamber will not be able to hear the testimony of TCW 487 as scheduled. As scheduled, TC plans to hear TCW 487 and TCW 604, who will not be able to be present at the end of this week either. As a result, the Chamber will adjourn the hearings of testimonies of TC 487. The Chamber will resume on Monday 28th of May 2012 beginning at 9 o'clock. The hearing will hear testimony of witness TCW 487. In the event that the hearing cannot proceed as planned, the hearing will hear instead TCW 88, rather TCW 488. This is the oral decision of the trial chamber concerning the substance with regards to the testimonies of the witnesses who have been planned to be heard this week. Court officer now is instructed to coordinate with WESU so that TCW 487 can be returned to his home and to return this witness to the courtroom next Monday on the 28th of May 2012. Next, given the fact that we have some residual matters regarding the documents that witness, rather that parties intends to raise during the hearing, and given the fact that we still have some time, we will address the three document-related issues as raised by parties. We will strive to address this issue before we hear testimonies of witnesses in the following week. Touching upon this issue, I would like to hand the floor to Judge Lavance to address these three document-related issues that parties raised the other day. Judge Lavance, you may proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We on the bench, we have noted that among the documents listed on the document list in the interface of the chamber, well, the documents that is to say the documents that the parties wish to use for the questioning of the witnesses, there are three documents that are problematic. One document that the prosecution intends to use, and this is document D366/7.1.188, and these are the statutes of the Youth League of the Communist Party of Cambodia, and there are also two documents that the Nuon Chia's defense also intends to use, D366/7.1.473, as well as another document, which is a report, D366/67, and this is the interview of a witness. And I note that regarding the document that the prosecution intends to use, that this document is not included in the lists that were filed in April and in July. It appears to me that this document was filed in November, and this list should have been constituted on the base of documents that were already included in the previous lists. So, if this information is accurate, the Chamber wishes to consider that this is a request to put before the Chamber a new document. So, the Chamber is requesting the prosecution to take into account these issues and eventually to file a written request in order to be allowed to put before the Chamber new documents, and of course it will have to abide by the conditions listed in the internal rules, and in particular in Rule 87.4. Now, regarding the documents that Nuon Chia's defense intends to use, the Chamber noted that these documents are included in no list, and the Chamber has already specified that the fact that these documents are used in order to impeach the witness does not change the applicable rules, and a decision, in fact, will soon be handed down regarding this. So the same rules are applied for all documents put before the Chamber, no matter the aim of this. So here, again, if Nuon Chia's defense intends to use this document, it is requested to take into account the observations that were made now and to file a written request in order to be allowed to put before the Chamber new documents, which of course will have to abide by the conditions in Rule 87.4. These observations were made today during today's hearing because we had the time for this, and the Chamber wishes to indicate that in the future, that when it will note on the lists in the interface that some documents pose an issue, it will directly advise the parties before the hearing, but we hope that the proceedings will not be hampered by these kinds of problems. I hope I have been clear. I don't know if any of the parties have any observations to make in reaction to what I have just said. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Your Honors. Regarding the document that we included in the interface, that is to say D366/7.1.188, that is to say the statutes of the Youth League of the CPK, after verifying the elements, we saw that it is indeed included in Annex 2 of our document that we sent in April 2011, which is indexed E9/31.2. And in Annex 2, this document appears listed as number 24. It's the 24th in the annex. So I believe there's a mistake here, and that we had indeed already included this document in the list that was sent to you in April last year.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Your Honors. First of all, in response to what you've just said about a ruling, could we be advised when to expect that ruling? When will that ruling be issued? Because we will, of course, need to object to that, possibly appeal it. As I understand from what Judge Laverne has said so far, it's against the position that we've put forward, so we would like to know when that decision will come out. Also, we would request that going forward, if we're going to be required to make Rule 87-4 applications with respect to what is obviously impeachment material, and what we say falls outside of the scope of that rule, we would like to make those requests orally, not in writing. We would like to make them orally, have the chamber, have the debate publicly in court, and have the chamber, as it should be able to decide very quickly on those requests. And I do have two other points of order that I wanted to raise today, since we have the time. So if I may, I think that'll take only about 5 minutes. I can do that now. Unless anyone else has further comments on this issue.
President, Defense Counsel for Noon Chia, what are the points that you would like to raise before the chamber? We already adjourned the discussion regarding the hearing of the testimony of those witnesses as we scheduled, and secondly, the floor is only open for the three contesting documents as clarified by Judge Lavenge. Please state the subject matter that you wish to raise before the chamber.
Well, Your Honor, there are 2 points of order. One point, it's a request, very simple request for clarification, and a second request for information. I was not aware that the floor wasn't always open for any issue. If there's some kind of a script I'm meant to be following, then maybe Your Honors would like to circulate that. This is a courtroom. There are many issues that come up. Closing the floor, I just don't understand that. I have 2 issues I'd like to raise.
You may stop. Please be seated, counsel. President, I'd like to clarify that for a new document submission, all parties are instructed to make it in writing pursuant to Rule 87.4. The Chamber will not accept and decide on any requests which are not in writing regarding this matter. I don't think there is any other point for you to raise, counsel. The hearing today has come to an end.
I have 2 points to make, Your Honor. Nothing to do with documents, nothing to do with the witnesses. 2 completely separate points.
President, we actually asked you what are the subject matters that you like to raise. If you don't say so, how can I manage this courtroom? You cannot just stand on your feet and raise other points which are not part of the agenda of the scheduling of the hearing. Clearly state the subject matters that you like to raise. What is number 1 and what is number 2? State it clearly so that then we can decide whether we allowed the floor to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's my fault for not being clear. As usual, I did state that I had a request for a clarification with respect to the Chamber's decision of 2nd May on my oral application regarding Judge Cartwright's gesticulations, as I believe I referred to them. My second point is simply a request for information. It's a follow-up, in fact, on a request that has already been made and that seems to have been lost in the shuffle of things. So we would like to make a request for clarification of a ruling of the bench, and we would like to make a request for information from the bench. And I might add, we would like to know when will we be informed of the precise witness order for next week. When will we be told that, for sure, who's appearing on Monday? Thank you.
President, the Chamber already informed the party and the public that due to the issues of certain witnesses, those who are listed on the list, and due to the inability of the accused Ieng Sari, and the Chamber already ruled that for next week the Chamber will hear one of the 2 witnesses for next week. If one is unable to testify, then we will hear the testimony of another witness, that is TCW 488, as well as the alternative TCW 487. So it is clear for next week hearing. And for the remainder of the witnesses, the chamber always notifies the party if there is any change to the scheduling order of hearing the witnesses beforehand, so that the parties are able to prepare their questions for those witnesses and not to delay the time.
Thank you. So that's very clear to me now. 488 is the primary witness. I understand. Thank you for the clarification. May I make my two other points?
No, you are not allowed. The court will adjourn now. Security guards are instructed to bring the two accused back to the detention facility and bring the three accused, including Ieng Sari, to the courtroom on the morning of Monday, 28 May 2012, before 9 a.m. As for Mr. Ieng Sari, if he will show clearly his status regarding the waiver of his presence, then he will be instructed to be brought only to the waiting room downstairs. I repeat, this is only for Ieng Sari. The court is now adjourned.